Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Anthony's Horror and More. And today I want to do my Friday the 13th ranking, except for it's Friday the 12th. Yes, I know this, but I want to go ahead and get this out before the other 10 million YouTubers post their videos tomorrow. So I figured, hey, I'll come on here Friday the 12th. I get to wear this shirt. I'll do my ranking today. I got my Scream Factory box set here ready to go. Love that artwork. I'm a huge fan of the Friday the 13th franchise. I love all the movies. They're all a ton of fun. You got your kills, you got your nudity, you got all the blood and gore and all that fun stuff. Yeah, so I'm ready to go ahead and rank these. Now, keep in mind, um, it's interesting because these bottom six were the toughest to do. They're very interchangeable, but I enjoy all of them. But it's just like to varying degrees. So now my top six, that was a lot easier. But these bottom ones were really tough. I was switching them like back and forth like crazy. So here we go. Friday the 13th, part 3, 3D. Yes, directed by Steve Miner, who directed Halloween H2O and Warlock and Big Bully. I'm a big fan of that movie. Go check that out. That's a fun one. But yeah, this is a solid movie. I really enjoy the music. I think Richard Brooker does a great job as Jason, especially when he removes that mask and you get like crazy, mutated, looking Jason. His face is all messed up and everything, and when he starts smiling at Chris, like, and he's all creepy and everything, and I mean, it's great. It's a fantastic performance. I know some people love 3D, but for me, it's just the characters are kind of boring. To me, I'm not a big fan. I mean, Chris is a cool final girl, but the rest of them, I'm not. You got the Cheech and Chong pot smokers, who I'm like, I don't know, just weren't interesting at all. And I don't know, it doesn't really feel like a group of friends. Some of them are very disconnected. Like I said, like the Cheech and Chong couple. They feel very disconnected from the rest of the group, and um, this is the movie where Jason gets his mask for the first time, which I think is cool. You get some decent kills in here, but yeah, just the 3D effects. If you're not watching this on a 3D, television, then it's pretty off-putting because they keep just sticking things like in front of the camera, for long periods of time, which is cool if you're watching it in 3D, but if you're not, it just looks really silly. You know what I mean? I'm like, like he's doing the yo-yo thing. God, I feel like that scene goes on for like, you know, I don't know, at least a minute or so. I mean, which is like an eternity when you're watching it on the movie. But it feels like maybe even longer than that, maybe like a couple minutes. I mean, it feels like it goes on forever, but still a fun watch. Definitely, like I said, it's my least favorite, but still a good time. All right, next up we got Freddy versus Jason. Now, I love me some Freddy versus Jason. I saw this in theaters. It's a blast. There's obviously some really bad CGI, because this was made in 2003. So, but, I consider this more of a Freddy movie than a Jason movie. So I think that's I think that's my biggest problem with it. I think Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger is fantastic in this. You can tell he's having a lot of fun, and I think it's more of a nightmare film than a Freddy film, or than a Jason movie. So yeah, but Ken Kersinger as Jason was just kind of like this big lumbering Frankenstein of a Jason. He didn't have a ton of personality to him or anything, but he did look cool. I mean, I love how tall he is. He's definitely the largest of the Jasons. He's really tall and big and everything, but he doesn't really have much character or anything to him. He's just kind of just this lumbering guy. But I love Freddy in this movie. I think he does a great job. Of course, Robert Englund. Um, yeah. especially when Robert Englund, as Freddy is, killing that one guy in the bathroom, and he's just trying to wake up or whatever. He's like, "Somebody wake me up," and then he like, Freddy sets him on fire or whatever, and it's just they have to watch from like outside in the window. I thought that was really well directed and everything. It looks great, but all right. Next up, we got Jason X. Yep. Kane Hodder, my favorite Jason. Um, I just think he brings so much physicality to the role. So I really enjoy him as Jason a lot, because he just brings a lot of personality. I mean, he just throws people around, he doesn't give a fuck. So, really a big fan of Jason. Really a big fan of Kane Hodder as Jason. And Jason X is a blast. It's set way in the future. It's set in space. You get some good kills in this. You get the famous, putting her head in the cryogenic thing and it freezes her head or whatever, and then he bashes it into pieces or whatever. He throws that one guy on top of that spike thing, and then he like spirals down. And I mean, you get some really cool kills in here. Uh, it's okay, guys. He just wanted his machete back. That idiot. But I love Uber Jason because you get two looks. You get like kind of more raggedy looking Jason, that's been decomposing for a while, and then you get cool Uber Jason, when he gets those little robots, those little nanites or whatever, and they rebuild them. Like that looks badass. But there's the other Jason there that you get for the first half of the film. But yeah, I love Uber Jason, that big ass machete. Really cool. Fun movie. My biggest complaint about it is just the way it's shot. It looks like a made for TV movie because of the lighting and everything. It's a little too well lit, but definitely a fun. Oh, and this is actually the first Friday the 13th movie I ever saw in theaters with my dad. So definitely a lot of good memories there, Really enjoyed that. And then we got Friday the 13th, The New Blood, Carrie versus Jason. Now this movie might even rank a little higher if it wasn't for the MPAA coming in there and just, neutering this film, cutting out all the gore. But I love, once again, Kane Hodder killing it as Jason. I love, this is my favorite look of Jason, with like, he looks, he's a zombie Jason, and you can see like part of his mask is missing, so you can see like his skull, like part of his like face and stuff, like right here, and then his spine is showing in the back, on his back there and everything, and he's got that chain wrapped around his neck. I mean, he just looks so metal, like heavy metal. Like, I'm gonna fuck you up, Jason. So I love that. Um, but and I love, yeah, and I think the girl is really cool too, that's like that fights Jason off, I mean, she sets his ass on fire. It's pretty cool. So I love that whole battle. You get Bad News Cruz in here, who's trying to use this girl who has like Carrie like abilities, like telekinesis and stuff like that. He's trying to use her, and he plays such a good asshole, that actor. So yeah, fun movie. It's a shame that they neutered it so hard with the gore. Yep. But then we got Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. Yeah, this is the sleaziest of all of them, the most amount of nudity. There's only one woman in here who doesn't get nude, and she's the one that does that little dance thing, you know what I mean? Which is great. But yeah, this is fun. I believe this also has the highest body count. A lot of people get killed in this one. And you get to see Tommy Jarvis. This is the second installment with Tommy, where he's at this halfway house, and he's just trying to recover from the events from the fourth movie, the final chapter. And it's difficult on him. He's basically a mute. But it's fun. There's that kid with the chocolate bars, man. Who ends up getting like cut into pieces and stuff. It's terrible. Like, but it's like kind of like humorous at the same time, just the way it was like filmed and everything. And he's like, you know, what is it? He's like, you know, you're making me really mad or something like that because he gives him the chocolate bar and he just like chops it in half with the axe or whatever, or is he's like, I think it's real rotten of you or something like that. It's fun. But yeah, and then you get Roy Burns, in here. And I enjoy Roy Burns. I think he's cool. I like it. And I like the look of Jason. I like the blue chevrons on the mask, and it's a blast. It's a fun movie. It really is. It's like I said, it's all about the nudity and kills in that movie, and there's a ton of it. But I think it's got an okay story too. I think it's all right. A funny commentary track on that. Definitely listen to the commentary because it's worth it. It's a lot of fun. And then next up we got Jason Goes to Hell. Now I really enjoy Jason Goes to Hell. I know not a lot of people like this movie, because obviously, spoilers, but Jason gets, blown the fuck up within like the first 5 minutes of it, and then he starts like transferring his consciousness into other characters throughout the movie. And I don't know, I kind of like that concept. It was something weird and different, and it's still Jason, you know. Uh it's still it really it is. It's still the essence of Jason in those characters and stuff. And you get like the tent kill, which is really cool. I mean, that, chick just gets split in half. You get the one chick that gets punched in the face, and he caves her entire, like her lips and everything, like into her face. It looks so crazy. He throws the little guy into the burner. Um, so you get great gore in this movie, a lot of cool practical effects and prosthetics and stuff. And I think the story is just really interesting. I mean, a lot of these like later installments of Friday the 13th kind of go off the rails. He goes to space, he goes to hell. I mean, he goes all over the place. But yeah, I still have a blast with this movie. It's fun, and I like the cowboy guy in this as well. I think he's got like a cool, he's a cool character where he's like sitting there breaking that guy's fingers and shit. Um, yeah, just a good time. I like Jason Goes to Hell a lot. Interesting story. It features a lot of the Evil Dead stuff too. With the knife and the Necronomicon, and there's like a lot of they I don't know, they did a lot of like they were blending the worlds like Evil Dead and Jason, into this movie, which was pretty cool. Um it's interesting because then you have the Carrie versus Jason, so you're mixing those two worlds. I don't know, I like that. It's kind of a fun concept. And then you have Freddy versus Jason as well, so I kind of like those worlds colliding. All right, then we got Friday the 13th, the remake, which I know not a lot of people are big fans of, but I think it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy this one. Derek Mears, I think, brings that same kind of physicality that Kane Hodder brings. He's a fast-moving Jason. He's not fucking around. He's gonna come at you hard. He's gonna kill you. He's not. He's not like a slow lumbering Jason or anything like that. No, he's coming after your ass. So you better go. You better run. But you get some great kill. I mean, I love the first 20 minutes of this. I know for most people that's their favorite because um it sets up everything so well. It really ramps up the suspense. You get that girl that gets killed in the sleeping bag. She gets burned alive, and you know there's just, I don't know, there's a lot of cool kills. There's that guy listening to music out there, and he discovers like that like pot farm and all that and stuff. But like just some really kind of fun characters. This Jason does think more, I guess. He's more of like a hunter Jason. He sets traps, and like I said, he's fast moving. He built these like underground tunnels as well, or maybe they were already there, but he's utilizing them. He's got all these little underground passageways and stuff like that, and he holds one woman hostage, like in a cage down there, and because she reminds him of his mother, and yeah, and then you got the dude that plays Sam, and Supernatural. He's in this. I think he does a really good job. And I like both the final girls, because there's kind of like two final girls in this, but they both do a great job. And the kills are great. And the guy that plays, what's his name, Trent or something like that, the douchebag guy. A lot of people hate him, but that's the thing. You're supposed to hate him because he's a douchebag, so you want him to die. And I thought that actor did a great job. You're like, oh, your tits are stupendous, when that girl's riding him and stuff. I mean, he's got so much good dialogue. He's great at playing an asshole. All right, so now what are we down to? Okay, the top five here. Okay, so this was number six, and I'll run through these one more time before I'm done. But so we're in the top five. So in fifth place, I know this would probably be at the bottom of most people's list, but it's towards the top of mine. That's Friday the 13th. Jason Takes Manhattan. Now I know a lot of people like to make fun of this movie. Oh, Jason takes a boat ride to Manhattan. Da, da, da. All right, listen up, motherfuckers. First of all, this guy has been on a campground for like 7 fucking movies straight. Okay. So I think it's a lot of fun that he actually, gets away from the campground, goes on a boat, kills a bunch of people on a boat in interesting ways. And I like how he's, once again, Kane Hodder brings that physicality to the role. He's just throwing people around. He throws that one dude on the council and he like gets lit on fire, and the sparks flying everywhere. He grabs that one Asian chick by the throat or whatever, snaps her neck and then throws her to the ground, and I love how that's filmed too, where it's like the camera's kind of spinning around. It looks like Jason's kind of everywhere, because I know that's another complaint is like Jason teleports everywhere, which he kind of does. I get it. But, I just, there's some cool directing in this that I really enjoy. I like the, another cool thing when, Jason kills that chick with, that rocker chick with her guitar, and he just swings it at the camera. Like, it hits the camera and you just see the blood and everything. Lots of cool stuff like that. And I love the principal guy on the book because once again he plays such a good dickhead. He just pushes his his niece into the water or whatever to like teach her how to swim, and she's just like drowning down there and shit. And he's like, oh, sink or swim, basically. But he gets what's coming to him. Jason puts his ass in like a barrel of nasty ass dirty water or toxic waste or something. It's really nasty. Rats in there and shit. But I love that song that's playing at the beginning of this movie too. It really sets the mood, and it makes New York look like an absolute shithole too. I mean, there's rats and people shooting up green heroin in the alleyways and stuff. I mean, it's dirty and nasty, and I love it. Um, and when he actually does get to New York, you get some cool kills there. He kicks that guy's stereo across the way. He's he, when he's like trying to find those the final girl and the guy and all that, when he's in New York and he's in the subway and that lady's just standing on the subway, and and she's just like this innocent lady, she has nothing to do with anything, he just pushes her down. It's just so mean. I love how mean Jason is. Oh, that bitchy girl too, the one that draws all over her body to frame the principal to make it look like he was making like advances towards her and stuff like that. She gets fucked up too. I mean, she gets, she's like kind of hiding in the corner. Jason breaks that glass, finds like a sharp piece and, stabs into her. But that scene, originally, I guess like the glass was supposed to break, but it didn't break right away or something like that. And so like Kane Hodder just like bashed that glass even harder, and he took a piece. That's what I mean. It's that physicality that Kane Hodder brings. I love. Like he's not messing around. He's coming for you. And the fact that he does kind of teleport around in this movie makes him even scarier. But even at the end, even the toxic waste through the sewers and stuff, I don't know. There's something about that when you're a kid watching it that's just like, wow, that's crazy, you know? And I remember watching this one a lot as a kid, so there is that nostalgia there for me. And, you know, when he gets doused with all that toxic waste and you just see that face like, oh, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's weird. It's nasty, but it's kind of sad at the same time. You almost feel bad for him a little bit. Um, I don't know, I love it. So yeah, that's all right. That's Jason Takes Manhattan. I'm a huge fan. Next up, Friday the 13th, the original, directed by Sean Cunningham. And, you know, this guy, he knows how to direct this movie big time. You know, I think, you know, even though I know it's on like a micro budget, but he gets some beautiful landscape shots. I already talked about this movie a lot because I saw it in theaters a couple months ago and I did a whole video on it, but it's just directed so beautifully. Like you really feel the campground in this movie, you know, like and I love that about it. Um, you know, you got Kevin Bacon in here. And you know, I think the cast is all pretty good. They're all fun. They play off of each other very well, and it feels like you're there, like just watching this all unfold. Like you're one of the counselors or something. Like you know, what I mean, you feel like immersed into it, which I really enjoy. And it really feels like they're getting this, you know, these cabins ready, you know, this campground and everything set up. Yeah, I mean, they show them doing everything. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of cool in that way. I really, you know, I like the kills, of course, um, you know, Betsy Palmer as Mrs. Voorhees is fantastic. Uh, I don't know. I'm a huge fan of Friday the 13th. I know that that one doesn't always rank high on people's lists, but I think it's very underappreciated. I really do. And the music, listening to this, the you know, the score, you know, in the theater with the surround sound going and everything was so good. Really good. But that's number 4. And number 3, Friday the 13th Part 2. Great movie. Um, you know, Ginny is the final girl in this. I think she does a great job. You know, Amy Steele, the actress, very, you know, she's very playful and fun. She's having a good time. You know, everybody's just having fun in this movie. I really like the guy in the wheelchair too, and the girl that's like, you know, always hitting on him and stuff. And you know, I think this cast has just great chemistry. I think that's why it ranks so high on my list because it's fun. And once again, some solid kills here. You know, you get, you know, the guy in the wheelchair, he gets the machete to the face and then he gets tossed down the stairs in his wheelchair, so he's just like flying down there and shit. um you know, you get the spear through the, you know, the shish kebab kill, you know, the spear through the two people into the bed or whatever when they're banging. That's a great, you know, an awesome kill, even though it did get cut down, but you can watch the unedited version in the special features of this, which is pretty cool. um yeah, and I just, you know, I think Jason looks cool. I think Warrington Gillette and Steve Dash, both did a great job playing the different. You know, you had the Warrington Gillette played the unmasked Jason. You know, at the end, or not un, but you know what I mean. Like you see his face, and then Steve Dash played the you know, the version where you just see him doing like the, you know, the stunt work and like the actual physicality of the role, you know, the kills and stuff. um so I thought they both did a solid job. And yeah, really dig that movie quite a bit. um Mainly because of the final girl and just the cast in general. I think you can tell they're having fun, you know. And then we have Friday the 13th, the final chapter, in second place here. um you know, this has my favorite kill in the franchise with the coroner getting the saw through the neck and the blood's just dripping all over the place. Gets his head spun around. That's my favorite kill in the entire Friday the 13th franchise. Once again, great characters. Um, you know, where's the corkscrew? You know, you get the corkscrew kill. You know, shout out to Crispin Glover. He's the man. Um, and just the chick that's in the towel, she gets the axe through the back. You get the guy that gets his face smashed into the wall when he's taking a shower. Just so many great kills in this. The chick that's naked in the raft, she gets the blade through her through the bottom of the raft. Yeah, but it's really the cast once again that makes it, because you believe that these guys are all friends and they're just out having a good time, and then Jason shows up and starts killing them all off. And Ted White in this movie, fantastic Jason. I mean, he just, once again, bringing some solid physicality to the role. I love the makeup job, how his hands look. They're so like thick and big and look like demon hands almost because they're all black. The fingernails are all black and everything and long and just really nasty. But yeah, and then when you actually see Jason, he takes the mask off and you see that nasty face, that fucking like mongoloid looking face, like and his eyes moving as he's like falling, because he got the machete through the face, and you just see like his like eyes and stuff moving around as he's like sliding down the machete, and it's cutting like into his head and everything. The effects look great. Tom Savini did the effects for for this film and for the first Friday the 13th, and they look great. I love all the prosthetic work that he does, the blood, the gore, and I actually, went to a panel and got to listen to Tom Savini talk about, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and a bunch of his other films. And I remember him saying that it's all about like the edit, basically. You can show, a lot of gore and stuff, but you just got to make it like, a couple seconds, or, it's just like just a couple frames really quick. You can't linger on it too long. That was kind of the trick back in the 80s. And I appreciated him talking about that because it sucks when you create these amazing effects and suits and gore and all this stuff, and it gets edited out, by the MPAA. They tell them to cut it all down. But this film, there's a ton of gore, and yeah, I'm glad they left it in, because if you watch, other movies like The Burning, if you watch the rated cut on that, they cut a ton of it out. But then, and Tom Savini did the practical effects on The Burning. But if you watch the unrated cut, you get all the gore and all that stuff, and it's awesome. So, but yeah, final chapter, excellent movie. Second place, but number one is Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives. Love this movie. Um, Tom McLaughlin, or sorry, Tom McLaughlin directed this. CJ Graham plays Jason for most of it. There was another guy playing Jason, but he got cut. But CJ Graham, plays him for the most part. And this movie, it just has a badass soundtrack. It's fun. The characters are fun. I really like Megan as the final girl. And then you got Tommy Jarvis back, obviously, from uh, who was in this one. He was the little kid, and then in part five he was an adult but played by a different actor, and then in this he's played yet again by another actor. But he's going back to make sure Jason's dead. He wants to burn his body, but instead he brings him back as zombie Jason. And I God, the scene where he just rips that guy's heart out, I love that. So much blood, and everything. And um and there's a lot of kills in this movie, the I don't know. I really like the sheriff in this movie who plays Megan's, that's Megan's father. I think he's a great character, and his stupid deputy in the movie, wherever the red dot goes, yeah, bang, that guy. Um, but yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, it really is. You can tell, they're setting up the campground again. They're on the campground. They're getting it ready, but this time you actually see kids on the campground. So it kind of adds some more stakes to the movie because you're like, oh, wow, is Jason going to kill some of these kids? What's going on? And then you just get so many cool shots, like when Jason's on top of that camper that flips over that RV, and he's like just on top of it as it's like on fire and everything. Badass shot, so some great directing. Another really cool shot is, obviously the third act where Tommy's trying to throw the chains around Jason's neck and, weigh him down into the water. And, he's on that little canoe thing and there's like a ring of fire around it. Jason's trying to kill him. And that it just looks so well. It's one of the best directed of the Friday the 13th, in my opinion. Um, so yeah, just a really fun movie, and it's my favorite. I just really enjoy it. So that's it. Oh, there's that scene right there that I was talking about. See, yeah, but yeah, that's it, guys. I'll run through them again really fast. So in 12th place, we got Friday the 13th Part 3. In 11th place, we have Freddy versus Jason. In 10th place, we have Jason X. In ninth place, we have Friday the 13th New Blood. So number 7, part 7. But that's in ninth place. In 8th place, we have Friday the 13th A New Beginning. In 7th place, we have Jason Goes to Hell. In 6th place, we have Friday the 13th, the remake. And in 5th place, we have Friday the 13th, Jason Takes Manhattan. Y'all go fuck yourselves. And then in 4th place, we have Friday the 13th, the original. And then 3rd place, Friday the 13th, Part 2. 2nd place, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. And in 1st place, Friday the 13th, Jason Lives. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know this video went on for a while, but, it's 12 movies. So, I, wanted to share my love of, each one of them. So, thank you so much for watching. You guys take it easy. Happy Friday the 12th and Friday the 13th tomorrow, whenever you watch this. So, you guys have a good one. Please let me know down below. Give me your ranking of all the Friday the 13th movies. I would love, I'd love to see it. And let me know. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon. This is Anthony's Horror and More. Peace out.